Yeah, blessed love to all those who are seeing this on the replay. Give thanks to the life giving the keep of life. Just giving it a few moments for my live family to come in. Thanks. Yeah, give thanks again, eh? Blessed love to everyone. Thanks to everyone. Life giver, the keeper of life, man. Yeah. So we do say blessed love at the same time. We are broadcasting through Radio Anu as well. And of course, we are streaming to the YouTube at this moment. And we say blessed love to each and everyone with us in the house. We glorify the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie first. And just thankful, for your presence. Oh, that's powerful there. And give thanks for the love and joy. All the righteous ones are in the house for sure. Also, I think this may be the first we're coming to the YouTube since we have completed our 3 lectures over the so-called Yuletide season. And I think I must say, let me be very, open here. I'm very thankful for all those who patronized and came through. I must say, for all 3 events, definitely the people came through and showed their love and showed that they valued themselves. And, the response has been great. People have been recontacting us and expressing how much, ones are even telling, the ones that even came to the lectures for the first time. There are people who would have come to our online lectures for the first time. One lady said, honestly, priest, I never expected this level of knowledge. When I came with the second lecture, she said after the first lecture, which is the fairy tale, folly days, and nursery crimes, she said like she didn't expect that she could handle anything else after that. She said when she was watching the Santa Claus Massacre, even before I was halfway through, she was just like, wow, this is too much, too heavy. And then it was just like the mother of all bombs, pardon the excuse, please forgive the excuse if you are offended by that, with the third lecture. And you may have good reason to be offended by it still. But for the third lecture, which was Rastafari, Haile Selassie and Freemasonry. But me personally, I am very overjoyed. I've definitely full joyed myself presenting them. Give thanks again for the Honorable Princess Acacia Menin and the Honorable Prince Almasi specifically on the fairy tale and folly days and nursery crimes lecture. Marvelous, and all the young ones that were there. And let me just remind you again, family, these lectures are still available. They're still there. You could still see them. All 3 lectures are still available. So it's not as if you have lost the opportunity and or the time has passed. No, the time is still there. So we're very thankful. But you know what to do. Just visit the website. Should I give you all of that explanation? Visit the website for sure and browse the website. Definitely check the area entitled Lecture Hall, and it is still possible. Or you could email us, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. And of course, we will give you more information on how you could see these lectures, or you could look at the fairy tale folly days next times. Very good for the young ones. It's very animated, if you want to know. It's very animated, and certain things that I have to express in it, you can never see it on the regular YouTube. I'm telling you, it would be down already. So, definitely, that's why these have to be online lectures. Now, I want to speak a bit about the Kwanzaa before we go into the Tiger's Nest this evening, and give thanks to the family on Radio Anu. After this live broadcast here, we'll be going straight into the Tiger's Nest. But I wanted to highlight something. Even the video that you're looking at on YouTube, I actually framed it in the exact way that individuals would ask. Now, this is not the first time I'm addressing this subject area. And just the fact that someone would ask, if Rastafari or Rastas, because that's how people say, if Rastas should celebrate or deal with Kwanzaa, I just felt that it would be necessary to at least give an idea, a proper idea of what the Kwanzaa is. Now, many ones would hear of Kwanzaa, and let's just be straight here. It's not to be offensive, but a lot of us, we repel these things because of a strong religious mind frame, a strong religious mindset. Because in the earlys, when I would hear some Rastas say, we not deal with Kwanzaa. In fact, we went as far as referring to the 23rd day of July, which is Haile Selassie's birthday, as Kwanzaa. In Antigua, we always refer to His Majesty Earth Day as Kwanzaa. More so the elder Rastas you would hear say that, but it's something that's somewhat fading out. But when I came into Rastafari, the 23rd of July is the day you would hear man refer to it as Kwanzaa. Now, there wasn't any big celebration of Kwanzaa here in Antigua. It's only our good brother Elakim, also known as Israel, who has been doing the Kwanzaa celebration, I think now maybe 12 years. I'd have to get that straight with him. He has always invited me to give a lecture at least on one or two of the evenings once I'm in the land, and I've always obliged for sure. And but a lot of Rasses distance themselves from Kwanzaa. Last year I think it was, or the previous year, I did a lecture at the very same brothers event, and I think I posted some of it online, and I got a little bashing for that. You know what I mean? Rasta deal with them things. You know what I mean? You know why? Because Selassie, I don't deal with them things, and it's not in the Bible. Now, even the libation and these things, and I can prove to you that libation is in the Bible. In fact, I will prove to you. Maybe not tonight, but before this strong is over, believe me, I will return and prove to you that there is clear libation. And when the priest say he can prove something, it's not maybe, well, what do you think? I will prove to you, even within the same scripture, that there is libation. But still outside of just the libation aspect of it now, like ones would say, His Majesty. That's why the question is Rasta and Kwanzaa. His Majesty then deal with Kwanzaa. How are you so sure? What are you talking about? What is Kwanzaa? And even before I go there, since we are still coming off of the heels of the Santa Claus massacre, what would you say if you see Haile Selassie deal with Santa Claus? Man, we bun fire me for that, just to say that. Obviously, out the ignorance. Man, we already did programs on that. I just not in the mood to touch that subject again. In the latter part of the emperor's time amongst us, ruling in Ethiopia as we know. So it's 1970 something. In the palace gardens, the emperor giving gifts, big Christmas tree in the ground, and several Santa Clauses, not one, with the donkey and all of these different things. Now, I mean, one's denied me when I said it, and when I brought out the video, the same ones that denied came and said, "Well, maybe the king was entertaining diplomats." Now you see, now before you saw it, you said nothing can go so. You totally flat out denied it. But then when you notice that, okay, yeah, something really like that took place, so you started to draw for reasons now, because you want to satisfy your feeling, because you bonfire and Santa Claus and you bonfire and Christmas tree and Haile Selassie is God. So seeing the emperor now and the Christmas tree in the palace garden and couple Santa Claus with the what you call donkeys and people giving out gifts, it's hard for you to put it together. You see, that's why we're here, to be straight, Let's be honest. That's why the tiger's nest is here. That's I'm not going to try to explain that right now, But for sure, these little things, as I said, I've done a whole video on that. They have understanding. There's a reason for all of this. That don't mean fire burn Santa Claus. No, and fire burn the Hagmas tree and the whole concept thereof. And all praises the Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Nothing changed. Nothing changed, but give thanks. That's why I see I and I is not like chickens without I and I head, We understand the prophecy properly. We understand Melchizedek is the high priest. We understand King Emmanuel order is what man and woman is to follow. That is my personal outlook, might not be yours. So I'm just saying that to say to those who are very dogmatic, Haile Selassie in deal with Kwanzaa, that should not be the first thing you draw for as an excuse of why you quote unquote burn it out. Come on, burn it out to you. Man, burn it out. Now, okay. So now, what is Kwanzaa? Now, some people would say that Kwanzaa is not a substitute for Christmas. Okay, I can agree. I would agree. I would not say that it's a substitute for Christmas, but I don't think we should hide the fact that it was placed around Christmas purposely to repel Christmas. There's nothing wrong with that. Yo, people, we coming out of 400 years of some serious captivity. Just like how they beat us and whip us and we bleed to death in many cases, is the same way they beat our culture out of us and beat their foolishness into us. I tell you. So in the 1960s, 66 specifically, and that's an interesting year, 66. Everybody know the science of 66. That's the same time Ben Ami Ben Israel, Ben Carter, Ben Ami Ben Israel left the U.S. And started that mission going towards Liberia and eventually settling in Dimona in Israel. We don't know the visitation of Haile Selassie to these islands in 1966 as well. Marcus Mosiah Garvey himself speaks of that year being the year of the liberation of African people. We see that cited in the Black Supremacy book. So 1966 now, Karenga created this celebration. It's a created celebration. It's not nothing directly borrowed from Africa as such. All of its parts are African, but as a ceremony, it's not necessarily something directly from Africa. Brothers and sisters just saw that Black people were in a real state of nothingness. As far as they saw, the Black church maybe was not doing enough. Yes, maybe the nation of Islam was around and a few other things, but we want to go back to our African, West African, South African, North African, Central African roots. That's all it was. That's it. And they decided to take 7 principles, and these seven principles, which are the Nguzo Saba, which were once called the Nguzu Saba. specifically were developed as such since the year before 1965. But these principles are natural principles. They always existed way before 1965. They're African principles. But the brothers and sisters took 7 of them from the African context. They've always been there, but they took 7 of them and aligned them in order. So that's why you get Umoja, which is unity. That's where you get Chagulia, which is self-determination. That is where you get Ujima, which would have been today, which is collective work and responsibility. And then you have Ujama, which is cooperative economics, something that we speak about, cooperative economics. And then you have Nia, which is purpose, and Kuumba, which is creativity. And then you have Imani, which is faith. And these are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa is means the first, or the first harvest, or the first fruit. And these principles are all Kiswahili words, Kiswahili principles. The words are Kiswahili. So we just give you them in the English form so you understand what they are all about. So every day a different principle is meditated upon. And the thing about the Kwanzaa celebration is that it promotes unity in the family and in the community and in the nation. That's like the core aspect of the Kwanzaa, promoting unity. So when it speaks of unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics and purpose and faith and creativity, it is still in the focus of a unified body. Whether it's the nation, of course, everything begins with the self. But Kawanza concentrates a lot on the family, the household and the extended family and the community and that village science and that oneness of the many. I think that is like the main theme that you would get outside of giving and rites of passage and these different things, but that unity and that oneness of the family is important. We as Rastafari can learn from a lot of that. Because even just previous night, I was explaining to my young ones that again, when coming into this Rastafari faith, I could tell you that, I don't think you ever experience any sort of love like Rastafari love. Rastafari have a kind of love, man. Oh my, and it was the visitation of 1991 when the brethren, I'm speaking of the Naibigi brethren, that Rastafari collaboration, when they visited Ethiopia for the 100th year anniversary, the centenary of the Earth Day of Haile Selassie I. If you ever seen that documentary, um, and a little after it came out in the 1990s, 93, 94, I had that on those VHS cassettes. I used to watch that like every day, so I know it well, But just observing it, even in this time, when I was showing my young ones that, hey, listen, Rastafari have a kind of love. Because on that same video, you have Congo Rocky, my baby I, my Shanti, Ivy, um, and a few other ones that I personally would have met and gathered with them and see that same love expressed, and how Rastafari would, you don't have to know one another. It's just whatever you have. It's when we gather, it's just herb and food and just love and harmony and joy, and Rastafari stand up for Rastafari in any case. If problem on the workplace, Rasta gather and boss have to humble. Yeah, that's the kind of love we used to have, and it's not there anymore. Even in a time like now, just the other day, I was listening to my Lord, the Honorable Jakasha Priest Germain, speaking from some level of exile there. He was in quarantine, and even the same thought came to my mind. The kind of love Rastafari have, because he was kind of burning a fire. That's Priest Germain Bobo in Brooklyn. If you check his channel, you will see the video I'm talking about, Bobo in Brooklyn. And he was really burning a fire. I think the video name Burn a Fire, Dash a Fire or something. And the fact that he was in quarantine, you have to spend 9,000 US for 9 days, something of the sort. Yeah, Bubble Priest Jermaine. And I was just saying to myself, look at that. Because they could just, that's definitely injustice, you know. And even Rastafari, the love that Rastafari had that I knew, even a thing like that, we would band together and somehow assist the brethren or stand up protests as Rastafari. But I've noticed that somehow we lost that zest. Even internationally, yeah, we don't have it locally anymore neither. At least I can speak of my neck of the wood. So what I'm saying is that the principles of Kwanzaa ignites that. Kwanzaa is not a religion, Rasta. We too religious, or talk about it not in Bible and in a deal with libation. What do you mean in a deal with libation? Man, from a burn chalice, if you burn a chalice and you know deal with libation, you're burning the chalice wrong. But I will explain that some other time. But the principles, what could be wrong with the principle of unity? Okay? What could be wrong with the principle of self-determination? Okay? What could be wrong with the principle of collective work and responsibility? What could be wrong with the principle of cooperative economics? What could be wrong with the principle of purpose? What could be wrong with the principle of creativity? What could be wrong with the principle of faith? You understand? All right, let me just get something straight here, family. Yes, pardon me. Yes. So I'm saying, so what could be wrong with these principles? And I see a lot of messages deleted here. What's going on here? I hope everybody is behaving themselves. Listen.
By the way, also,
let me make
Alpha
the people.
Omega, I am very sorry because I timed you out by accident.
Okay, Alpha Omega, the young prince say time me out by accident.
So please forgive
now
me.
I see Mr. Rothschild.
Yeah.
Well deleted. Brethren, we don't play around here,
I only timed you out.
This is my son and the engineer board, right? We don't have no time to games with nobody with them weird vibes. We come here to teach people knowledge. I find some of y'all like some real children, whether I know y'all or not, y'all disgusting sometimes. And I don't come to play around with people, I come to teach those who want to learn. That's why I penetrate on young children too. So don't come here with no funny remarks. I don't even know what you say, and I don't business. I just see some of y'all and some other people comment talking some weird things, and I read my comments too. I do not have no time to play with nobody. These teachings that you get in here is sent from the Most High God Almighty. If you don't have nothing better to you, go and find somewhere else to go. I don't have no time to play Rasta. It's serious. This is salvation order we're dealing with. It's my young youth man I have here stalking y'all. So come and any weird comment, we kicking y'all out. We don't have no time to play. People want to learn. Yeah, straight up. That's why you have to deal with them. Give thanks, my Lord. Blessed love. Think this is a joke? Rastafari. So what I say now, family, give thanks. Yeah. No time to play. No time to play. No time to play. A lot of us, we play too much. Think this is a game. You see this person you're looking at here? Some of you don't know me well, Don't be crossing the place with me. Trust me. If I'm in the mood, I go to the ends of the earth and just done you. Just cool out. Yeah, very serious. All right. Now, so what I'm saying now, the principles of Kwanzaa, that's what we're talking about. The family, the structure of the oneness, the order that is this is an African tradition, or these are African principles. So there's nothing wrong if an individual was to say, listen, man, we have been in captivity for so long. We've been going through this for so long. We have lost the principle of unity. Yes. We have lost the principle of unity. We have lost the principle of coming together, self-determination. We have lost the principle of faith. As I was saying specifically, and I have the tiger's nest to go into, but don't worry, we come into that right now. As I was saying previous night about faith, remember, even in the same scripture, just to show how the faith is, most of us, we have no faith whatsoever, not even a little faith. Because according to the Bible, if you had faith the size of a mustard seed, you'll be able to move mountains. So tell me. Now, most of us may have never seen a mustard seed, but we know for sure that a mustard seed is the size of, almost like a speck of dirt. And I've never seen it grow, but I understand it grows to a big shrub or at least a big tree. So the same mustard seed now, when you understand and you look at it, we are taught that if you have faith the size of that seed, you can move, not just move mountains, you could tell the mountain to move from here under and jump into the sea. Remember, the disciples were trying to heal people. The man with the blind eyes went and they tried all kind of things and nothing happening. The deaf man going and said, "No, I can't hear you. Talk again." Nothing happening. So when Christ come along now, they say, "Hey, look, the big man here, man. Hey, listen, help me out, no man, because your fella's not working good, He said, "What happened?" "Since morning I'm here, trying to see if I could see something, and none of them can help me." He said, "Well, let me." There you go. That's a nice blue robe you have on, so he can see now. So how is it they couldn't, even they had to come and say, "Master, but since the sun came up, we were here working, trying to heal these people, and it didn't work. How is it that you came along and it worked?" And he said, "Hey, listen. This doesn't happen, by the way, without praying and fasting." He made that clear. But he showed them that if you had the faith as small as a mustard seed, you could tell the mountain, "Jump hither into the pool, the sea, wherever," and the mountain would move just because of your faith. A little faith, So imagine if you had faith as 4 mustard seeds. Wow, you'd be doing great works. Because what I'm saying now, that shows me that we ain't got no faith. Because we ain't moving no mountains. It's not that we have little faith, It's not, "Oh, ye of little faith, It's, "Oh, ye of no faith." Remember, Peter was in the boat, All of them were in the boat. And a storm was on them, and they saw a man walking on the water in the storm. It wasn't no still water, It wasn't a quiet. The sea was alive. And they see a man walking and they say, "Hey, is it a spirit?" And one of the fellas say, "Man, you can't see spirit. It got to be somebody." I said, "Go here. It's the Messiah." And he called for Peter. He said, "Peter, come on the water and walk with me." And he said, Peter stepped off and he started to walk, But after a while, he started to question himself, like, "Wait, am I really doing this? This can't be happening." All of these things, doubt. Start to doubt yourself. Remember, we're talking about faith, Imani, the 7th principle. Start to doubt himself. No, this can't be. Then he started to sink. And then the Father had to come and hold his hand and lift him up. You see, if you check it, he had the ability to walk on the water. Number 1, he had to have faith in the Christ. Okay, different type of faith, We all belong to a faith. That's why I'm telling you, there is the true and right faith. I am of the order of King Emmanuel. That's my faith. You may be a Christian. Let's just say that's your faith. You may be a Jehovah's Witness, a Roman Catholic. You may be a Nyabingi. you may be Orisha, that may be your faith, but yet still there is a faith, a trust that you need to have within yourself. That's the faith now that you need to have to link with that faith, because the God is within you. You see, all of these things work together, all of the principles of Kwanzaa actually work together. So when you understand yourself, self-determination and purpose, when you understand your purpose, it helps to strengthen your faith, because you know your purpose. So then you have more faith in yourself. You have more confidence in yourself. Let me show you, man. Even when you look at there's a story in the Bible about Elisha, coming back to Peter and the water. And Elisha and his servant were in the little abode. If it's not Elisha, it's Elijah, one of the two. And the king now, the king of Israel, I think it would be Ahab now, Jezebel's husband, come with his army now to come and rough up Elijah. So when the servant see them coming, he was afraid. He was like, what? He said, boss, look there. Thousands of horses and chariots and soldiers with shining sword coming up the hill. And Elijah said, man, that's where you wake me up for. Yo, just go back to sleep, man. We have an early rise tomorrow, man. You forget how far we have to go. I said, what? You hear what I said, boss? I said, thousands of fellas coming up the hill with guns, tanks and planes, just bringing it more closer to home. The man said, boss, listen, you know I'm a kind of man, when you wake me up, it's hard for me to get back to sleep. It's 3 chalices I have to burn now just to go back to sleep. But anyway, Father, just show him what's going on. Show me what's going on. The Bible says, right, that the Lord opened the eyes of the prophet's servant, Elijah's servant. And he saw on the mountainside countless of angels, like in fire, standing with swords and fire, and horses and chariots of fire, and a heap of things, just ready to come down and devour anybody that even thinking to trouble the prophet of God. So when the servant see this, he said, wait, what? This is what's going on here? This is the kind of protection we had. Remember, he didn't know, so he got scared. He didn't have a reason to have no faith. He didn't even know his purpose there. So he was like, nah, man, we need to jump out the back door. But when Elisha tell him, listen, just look. And then he saw the sort of security he had, the sort of backing he had. All of a sudden, he get courageous. He said, what? Boss, you go back to sleep. It's all right. Don't worry. And I go make a breakfast in the morning. I going down here to talk to these fellas. And he would go, I'm sure he would slap up the heart. Hush him out. I'm giving you all 3 to get out of the garden. 1, 2. You still here? Because he understood the level of protection that was there with him. Remember Idi Amin Dada saying, I know exactly when and how I'm going to die. And he actually went on to say, this is why I'm not coward. Now, knowing Idi Amin, even if he didn't know that, he still wouldn't be coward. But what he's trying to show you is that he has insight. He definitely has some insight that most people don't have. Because I know most people who have already died didn't know when and how they were going to die. Maybe they know, well, listen, I live by the gun, so more than likely someday I will die by the gun, or whatever the case is. But man, I live in this kind of life, I eat myself to death, I know I gonna catch a heart. Maybe that's how maybe they knew that. But no, that's not what Idi Amin is saying. He's being very precise. He knows when. He can give you the date. And he knows exactly what is going to happen for him to put down that structure. And then he went on to show you, this is why I'm not afraid. Because most people, is the life they're afraid of it. I tell you, there is nothing to be afraid of, even your life. You ain't got no life. It's one life. Don't worry about life. Life all right. Life safe. Life not going nowhere. Life not going nowhere. Give thanks for being in the land of the living. I tell you already, death is not the opposite of life. Death is the opposite of to be born. Life is what you call God. It's ever living. It's the source of all things. It dwells in all things. Omnipresent, pardon me, omniscient, and all the omnis that you have. Omniverse, omni there, omni everywhere. That's the Most High. That's the Almighty in flesh. So Idi Amin now is just showing to you, because he knows his purpose there, which is one of the principles of the Kwanzaa. Idi Amin knows his purpose. He knows why he's here. So he knowing when he's going to die, it's not just I know when I'm going to die, He's trying to show you, I know my mission. So that is why you should be aware of your purpose. Because when you are aware of your purpose, it strengthens your confidence within yourself. It gives you more faith. As I said, faith, is a term you can, it has a broad sense to it, like love and God and these terms. But it still narrows down to the same thing. So you have a faith, your belief, your religion. But yet still you have to have faith in yourself, trust in yourself. Know that you can conquer. Yeah. And of course, you can't have that trust and faith in yourself unless you know yourself. That's why you have to know yourself. Then comes in that second principle, which is self-determination. If you notice, everything is working together for one. So back to Peter and the water and the high seas. Remember, he came out of the boat walking on the water. He didn't come and sing, oh my, I can't do this, boss. No. He came out walking. Good job, Peter. Now take your time and come. But you see, between him and the Christ, it was like questioning, like, wow, am I really doing this? You see, this is why, we do the program Serengeti every morning, every uprising. Serengeti, well, not every uprising, but from Monday to Friday, Serengeti, and even Kidemi on the Sundays. And the Serengeti now is a program where we uplift the spirit of the uprising. You can't be waking up to sad news and this thing, and you put on the radio and a woman was shot dead last night and her head was found in the rubbish bin on Central Avenue, and the police are asking anyone who knows what. Oh my God. You see, and we wake up to that every day. Every day you get up to that. Some places in some radio stations, 6 o'clock on the dot. Death announcement. Give me a listen. In the morning, ding, it's 6 o'clock. Time for your obituaries. Ding, 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 the death is announced. So, and that is set, That is the way it has been set. That's why it's called the mourning. It's a mourning. It's designed for you to mourn. The whole system rigged. Even in the simple ways, man. Playing with nature. That's what we're going to speak about tonight on the Tiger's Nest, Yeah, the Tiger's Nest is supposed to start at 7. So, but when we're done here, we're going straight to Radio Anu. We're already on Radio Anu as well. Give thanks to the Radio Anu crew. And we are also streaming here on the YouTube as well. Nature, how you connect to nature. So the fact that, after the Sabbath, King Emmanuel teach us straight to Broomfield, work right away. No, but the system rig you that you start to work Monday morning, so you start late. There's a late start thing going on there. And it plays and continually plays with us. So that science of the morning, that you must wake up to sad news and depression and this energy. No, that is when you're supposed to be like the birds. The birds wake up singing. Any real religious practice teaches you that you wake up with meditation. You wake up breathing. You wake up humming. You wake up singing. You wake up clapping. You wake up hallelujah. You wake up with the spirit. Again, the birds sing, fish leap out of the water. It's even written in the Psalms and in the hymns of Aten by Akhenaten how the animals behave because of the coming of the sun. So every uprising on Serengeti, we speak about how the sun is looking. Those of you who listen to Serengeti know the whole routine. Because we start the program in the darkness of the morning, the 4-day morning blackness. And then depending on the time of year, you see the sun depending coming up at 6 and brightening the sky. And we explain if the sky is on fire or if the sky is purple or if it's a rainy morning. And we give you affirmations because you need your affirmations every day, and your I am affirmations and your breathing technique and motivational speeches. And I myself give you my own little pep and some good music. And of course, Naya Bingiada from beginning until we say it's just the energy of the uprising. So this is what I'm showing you now, family, that the system is rigged in such a way to rise you morning. Good morning, Harlem morning, then brother. That's why we prefer to say blessed love, give thanks. I prefer to say good day then, if you want to put it that way. So all of these things now, this is why we need to bring back the Afrocentricity back in our sense. There's nothing wrong with the Kwanzaa celebration. And as Bobo Shanti with a light candle, I would encourage ones that partake of these celebrations. Do not be buying them a regular candle, not because the candle red and it black and it green. Most of them candles is pig fat candle. Pig. Back in the days when we used to burn candle, I mean, as a child and so on, current electricity comes off and we light the candle. When you out that candle and let off a smell, oh, pure pig fat. Not, well, pig fat. Yeah, you smell it. Now, in the same way, why a candle? Because candles are spiritual. Lighting of the candle is a very spiritual thing. You don't think the enemy knows that? You can get candles made out of beeswax, even soya candles. It's just like soap. Almost every soap product having same pig fat. What's the reason for that? What is this? So now you have to be very diligent search to make sure you find the right thing to use. So the same thing with the candle. So if you could get a better candle, because the candle is very spiritual. That's why you use candles. It's a spiritual thing. That's why in them days they hear the Rasta man them say, hey, no man, they're not dealing with no candle thing. That's why when we had Bongo Wisely with us and he was saying that King Emmanuel and the Bingy them had a problem because King Emmanuel was lighting a candle and the altar say, wow. And Bobo bonfire and candles so hard. And incense too. Incense. These stick incense that you buy in the pack with Vishnu and Shiva and them. No man, we don't use these things. That's spirit again. You must understand these are manufactured to bring in some funny spirits around you. If you believe in these things, go and get your wild bush. Get your kojo. That's the best incense to burn. If you're running spirit, kojo is what you need. Get your coconut shell with the coconut, make the coconut itself get oily and dry and light that afire. That's nice incense. Even your rock incense, your frankincense and your myrrh. So that is good stuff. But the stick incense now, unless you know for sure it's fully natural and made by those who have that technique and can deal with it in the spiritual way. But differently, the marketed incense, now man, is your spirituality you're dealing with. And you have to keep that in mind. You get a stick of cinnamon and you light a stick of cinnamon. You don't get no have the right ganja stick. When you light that, it burn all the way down. Just like any stick incense. That's the real incense. Natural incense. You don't need them flavored purple, formula Kool-Aid smelling stuff. I'm telling you, because they attract the spirit. It's spirits we're dealing with. So if it's that level, someone's, as Rastas say, well, they're burning out this stuff on. If that's the concern, But the concern cannot be the principles. Again, Kwanzaa is not a religion. You understand? And I can't see what could be wrong. This is just like teaching your children, hey, we have to live in unity. Hey, we have to live in, you need more self-determination, and you have to have a purpose, and we need more creativity. When you know your purpose, you become more creative. What you say? When you know your purpose, you become more creative because you know your purpose, you know what you have to do. So because you know what you have to do, you attack it and you create. That's what I'm showing you. You know your purpose, you must have more faith in yourself. I gave an example previous night. It was a very simple example, but it was an example of a man working in a hardware store, and let's just say his job requirement is that he must handle aisle 6 and 7. Those are the actual aisles I said to. So he has to handle aisle 6 and 7. Now, and he said, listen, I want the paints up here, and I'm going to have the paint thinner down here, and the spray cans over here. All right, and dust off, and he makes sure his aisle is nice. And then now the fella from aisle 3 come over and just start to switch his things up. Now, when he sees that, his approach, the fact that he knows that this is his aisle, he has it in writing. He knows that this fella's aisle is over there. He knows that he's doing a good job. He never got no instruction from the higher boss. So he will approach. He doesn't have to be rude, but he will approach with confidence, knowing that with authority. So whether he say, boss, what you do? Or he may say, excuse me, Jim, everything is okay. Maybe Jim think he's in the wrong aisle. He may say, but Jim, I just put that up there. Why are you changing my stuff? He will approach with authority because he knows nobody can question this. This is his aisle. He's been working here for how long? This is in writing. The boss has a meeting with them every other day. They know their duty. So when someone has infiltrated his duty, his area, his domain, he would approach it with authority, with faith in himself, because he know he's right. He has a purpose. Jim, what you doing here? Why are you doing this? Oh, I just thought, no, Jim, you can't thought. Jim, you have to come to me first. So now he takes control because he has this ground. It's his. These are his aisles. It's just like it's your car. You know it's yours. Nobody can just jump into it and drive away because you know it's yours. So when you know your purpose, when you know what you have to do, when you know your mission from the Most High, you obviously will develop more in your faith within yourself because you know what you got to do. You know your boundaries. You know your lane. See, what his name there a while ago, Raschild. You may be saying, but priest, you didn't even see what he said. Listen, when you reach to a certain point, you have to see what nobody's saying. I'm saying that this is a serious forum. Yeah, we entertain a lot of people. I'm not here to scare nobody. But there have a time you just have to let the people them know what's going on. And I don't have to know what nobody say. I just letting you know that this is not a play zone. That's all I letting you know. Whatever you said. So if you say, but I didn't say anything to offend you, well, give thanks. You don't have to push it neither. It's all right. Just take. You see, that's it too. I coming from a zone, right? When elders talk, you just listen and take it and move on. I can tell you, listen, I don't even want to go too far with somebody either to understand it. Rastafari is a serious thing, family. Those of you that are young that come into Rastafari, don't get caught up in the games. Future for Rastafari is sure. A lot of us within this Rastafari thing, we play with it a lot. Like if it's just a fad and you wake up and do your thing and yes and no. This is a kingdom that we have. This is the kingdom of the guys. I have a program I'm going to be doing very soon on the Tiger's Nest, sometime this strong. We're going to be highlighting, longevity in life. And it's going to be a qualified program talking about people who are all 250 years old. The stats we're taking going to be coming from National Geographic. So I know no dark website and no conspiracy theory, nothing. And I'm just saying that to say, you see our God Haile Selassie the first, even within that, many Rastas don't lose faith in the king. I'm telling you all, family, just trust me, man. Just like how the Bible said, man, you have to hold faith. Rastafari is a kingdom. Rastafari don't win out, as we does say. And the time is going to come that, trust me, we have to be. You can see it already, family. Look how the world running. People running to Rastafari. They've been doing it for a while, but trust me, it's going to step up and intensify because the world crumbling in on itself. And it's Rastafari that's saving people. If you don't believe it, it's up to you, and it's just a matter of time, man. So we that in it already need to be a little more serious. This is not no giggle game, and no argument game, and trying to this power struggle game. That's another thing. Power struggle game. Eh? Ones just try to drag me in the power struggle too, Just that you don't know. Oh yeah, that's politics. As Rastas, we in politics too. If we were in some more Kwanzaa principles, if we were in the Kwanzaa principles, we would see that the whole aspect of collectivity, collective economics, where is our collective, our cooperative economics? Where are we really pooling our resources together? $1 a week, all of us as Ras can throw $1 a week. If we throw $1 one time, if all of us that say we so conscious, so okay, myself, me, or someone else. There have other people that you consider that doing some kind of work. Let me call. I don't want to think. Let's say I do. Let me see. I'm just trying to think of somebody else. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if somebody step up to the plate and say, Rastas, listen, there have almost 500,000 of us around here talking and yapping. If all of us throw up $1, not a week, just one time, all of our dreams can come true. You think that gonna happen? Not with this bunch here. No, man. Even $1 man gonna be looking back and say, boy, the man my $1. Yeah, the man my $1. I mean, just to show you where we are. So if we can't do that, the opportunity is there. Look, all of us talking here. We can move the earth in one day. We can wake up tomorrow and just change everything. All of us that say we so conscious. Not even just Rastas now. The conscious world. I just bring it down to Ras. I could bring it down to even Bobo Shanti alone. If all of us that say we're Bobo Shanti serious, in one day can move. Yeah, in one day can move. Let this go. This may sound strange. I could tell you what we could do, and it move, but nobody. Because we don't want no leadership neither. We lie. We don't want no leadership. We don't want no leadership. Trust me. That is why it's better you take a back seat until you're forced to be put on the front seat. Don't run for no front seat. Even if it's your seat, don't run for it. Trust me. Because them people there not willing to take good leadership. Much less us as a conscious community. So all of us all over the world, in the same way that Minister Farrakhan called 1,000,000 plus brothers. You mean to say, and now the technology is greater, you mean to say if we all call and we have a committee and we say everyone just put $1, and by the time the month end, we gonna step up. I mean, empire building, industry building, repatriation, reparation. We don't need nothing from nobody if all of us just put our dollar in, whatever the currency is. I'm telling you, a simple thing. All of us. Because when you pull resources together, you may say, but what a dollar can do? No, a dollar can't do nothing for you. 1,000,000 people, each of them have $1, that's not gonna work. But if each of them put that $1 and make $1,000,000, that $1,000,000 can create industry, can create economic opportunity, can create communities, can create transportation for that same 1 million people. Reality. And that 1 million people, everybody don't need no economic opportunities. Not everybody need a job. Maybe a quarter of them will be employed. This is how you plan it and look at it. And that's $1, $1. But then if the call is made, trust me, boy, me not deal with them man, they boy. And then a whole argument can go up. I've seen it. Trust me. Remember, I've been there and done that. What I'm telling you is not what I dream of and I think would be a good idea. These are things that I have personally attempted. You know that. So this is why I think I'm in a good position to say that we chat too much. We love in the chat. Is the chat we love, The chat. But when it's action time, we slow. That's why sometimes you just gotta do what you got to do. That's why people just go one away, man. Got a group wasting time sometimes. That's why we give thanks for the Kwanzaa energy. The Kwanzaa energy is unity, family. So everything, all the principles, it's family. Self-determination, family. Purpose, family. Everything is for the family. Yeah, fire. I have a work that I have to go and do now, and I don't do that work on YouTube. I have a wonderful program. We're going to be talking about the Ayurveda holistic way of healing that came from ancient India, which is really Africa. I'll explain all of that in a few moments. So the Tiger's Nest is really a program that comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the hour of 7. But I am broadcasting right now on Radio Anu, and I'm broadcasting on the YouTube. So I have not officially started the Tiger's Nest as yet. But I'm going to seal up the YouTube program, and I will be going into the Tiger's Nest program right about now on Radio Anu. And as I said, we will be going into some more holistic levels of reasoning as it relates to the ancient art, and we'll be talking about the dosha and the elements that create us, and how the different herbs connect to the elements and different things we're going into, man. It's a wonderful program I already have set down for you. I have a nice documentary that we will listen a few minutes of it as well, and we will interact in a good way. Trust me, it's going to be a nice evening. So once you have time, YouTube family, just cross over with us, not cross over, right over, come on over to the Radio Anu. The link is in the description below. I also have it in the chat. Chat is a bush they have in Ethiopia. They say that when you eat the chat there, boy, you chat and chat. All right. So let me just bam. So yeah, I put the link. Mm-hmm. All right. So family, yes, give thanks. No, yes, let me go. Yes, the link is there. Give thanks to everyone. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. The Hebrews came from Israel and fled into Trinidad, into Africans. This is Ranks Trinidad there. African soul Africans into slavery. All them things there. Where that coming? Who you Ranks? Who you talking to? You and somebody having a conversation here. This is what I'm saying. The Bible have nothing to do with Rastafari. Oh, that's Ranks' problem. Prove me wrong. Selassie was a Christian. When you see this, is what I'm saying. Love to Ranks. Just seeing Ranks Trinidad. Love, man. I love everybody, man. Give thanks. What Ranks also need to do is to spend more time in class. You see all these things people does be saying. Everybody that follow and I know we cover these things and cover them clearly. These are psychological things that people not getting. about let me just get back to some of these things. Selassie was a Christian. I just mentioned about a Christmas tree. If you notice what we put together, it's like a Houdini kind of get out trick. You know, all these questions people ask, oh, how come Haile Selassie don't have locks and these questions keep revolving and revolving. No matter how many times you answer these questions with clarity, they keep revolving and revolving and revolving and revolving. But it's all right. That's why we're here to teach in love and harmony and light and unity. GSM Killers giving thanks for the life given, the keep of life, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Clyde Walker says 3 million in South Africa alone. That must be Rastafari. Wow. Wow. I'm telling you. Yeah. Universal says instead of boy, boy, I. Okay. Yeah, I. All right, maybe I'm reading these things wrong. All right, boy. Rascha got a lot of. I know you said he was on timeout.
Yeah, he was typing a lot, so when he put him on time.
All
He
right.
also left by himself.
Yeah, maybe he get offended by me. I don't know. Well,
Or
so
maybe by
yeah, well, I'm feeling like Rascha. I mean,
you know,
that's
I love you.
okay. The Prince say love you, but the say go with us. We ain't got no time.
You know that.
Yeah, he gone, man. Yeah. But anyway, give thanks. Moses Aaron in the house. Good. Earth rightful ruler. All right. Just blessing up everyone. Who is this? Lunge Brown. These pig fat in sweets too. Oh boy. Oh. Divine Self says up, up, up. Just positive vibes says give thanks. Uh, black blackmail give thanks to the man, the mighty prophet. Say non-partial at the same time. All right, Giza, Pyramid of Giza, one of the first to come in the house this evening. I think was the first
I think
glorified,
it was a second.
and I was the first. And Royal Luna, yes, family, blessed love. All right, give thanks. Menelik present, Kwanzaa, you're lost. Kwanzaa, you have lost me, honorable priest. All right. Menelik present says, Kwanzaa, you've lost me. Well, that was earlier, so
Hey,
I don't get it neither. I'd assume that Menelik present, once you're still present, I would have found you. You understand? By this time, if you were lost at the beginning. And you see that may be a genuine concern. That's what I'm saying. Genuine just because of how we are grafted into this dogmatic consciousness, like consciousness becomes religion now. So maybe somebody has been whispering to Mr. Menelik present that boy them things is demonism and so even as Rastafari, I'm not afraid to say and reality is we break a lot of them barriers when it comes to the Egyptian stuff. That's why enough Rastas still try burn eye out. I mean, try burn eye out when it comes to talking about Osar and pyramids and so. When I started to talk about that, it wasn't fashionable at all. Straight up, it wasn't fashionable. Nobody was talking about them things there when I started to put these things together. You know. So and as I look at no credit because most people say it's Muta Baruka bringing Rasta and Egypt together. Well, I give thanks for the elder. But I know when it comes to literally linking the science, clearly showing you that Haile Selassie is Osiris, King Emmanuel is Heru, undoubtedly you can nearly start to doubt me. Marcus Garvey is Anpu. The Black Anubis is Marcus Garvey. That is so undeniable. That is so undeniable. Ramesses II, the same Marcus Garvey again. Nobody can deny us. We don't put these things down and wax if you want to say. And they're right there. You could watch them again. And so whoever coming and burning fire is who lack understanding of these things. Straight up, they're ignorant of the mystics. You see. So as we say, we know our purpose. That's why we're not coward. And we keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. So give thanks, family. As I said, just join us here on Radio and just come and fulfill the energy with us. All you have to do is press link. I'll be writing over at the moment, and we'll be having a wonderful discussion as it relates to the ancient art of holistic healing. Give thanks for the moments, man. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Just press the link. It's also in the description of the video too, if you can't find the link in the chat. Yeah, we're gonna start a late edition of the Tiger's Nest, but we're going in. Blessed love.